That sounds like an excuse you use after you get caught jerking off or something.
That goddamn semen trees.
Does it smell like semen in here? It's the trees.
Must be early pollens.
That's crazy.
That one's gonna be so appropriately timed. We are
live. We're live, and my mic's working this week.
We will never make that mistake
No.
again. I'm gonna check that red button often now, like mid-episode.
It wasn't even a technical mistake. It was like we hit the mute button to test and then never unmuted.
Yeah,
And we're
exactly.
like, oh, it's-
100%.
Everything worked fine. We just fucked up with the buttons.
But I mean, it was funny because we cracked into your mic last time.
You can't even hear it. It's just us clicking for no
And we're
reason.
like, ooh, that's gonna sound great.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Oh my lord,
Ooh, that was a nice
that was
one.
loud as fuck.
Yeah.
How you been?
Good, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah, you
I don't know.
seem cheery.
Yeah. It's been a good allergy season, so I'm pretty pleased.
That's
Fuck
such a
these
funny way to be like.
allergies. Dude, I saw a comic do a bit about how it's tree cum in the air. And I was like, yes, someone is speaking what I've been saying.
Don't some of the there is a tree that during allergy pollen season it smells like semen in Connecticut. It was at the Arboretum where I used to work. I swear to God.
That sounds like an excuse you use after you get caught jerking off or something.
That goddamn semen trees.
Does it smell like semen in here? It's the trees.
Must be early pollens.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna
what is it,
Google, but let me
January?
take a sip of this beer. But that's funny.
She's like, it's snowing outside.
No, I swear we've done this Google search before, and it's
Tree pollen that smells like semen.
semen smelling pollen. Yeah, tree came up before. Why does a Bradford pear tree smell like? I don't know what this is. This is the Reddit. What kind of tree is this, and why does it smell like male ejaculation?
What kind of tree is it?
Ornamental pear tree. Fucking hate those trees. They were all over my college campus.
That's got to be strong. I don't know.
I
If I've
remember
ever
it.
really smelled.
I'm pretty sure they're in
semen.
Connecticut areas. Yeah, New Hampshire,
there's that.
ranging from New Hampshire to Texas. I remember them at the Arboretum, and it would definitely. It's like hard to explain the smell,
Yeah, you.
but you know,
when you were camp counseling those kids, like, who's jerking off?
they were too young.
Who's doing that?
It'd be like, I really hope this isn't. I hope this is the trees because it's just me and my boss.
Yeah,
And
your
I know
boss
I
comes
wasn't
in
sure.
and she's like, it smells like semen in
He was a
here.
dude.
He comes-
That's why that could be an issue.
Mhm.
If
But
I
he
was,
comes in and he's like, smells like semen in here. You're like, how do you know what semen smells like?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck, I guess you're good.
I mean, I was at the age. No, I mean, when do you first smell semen? How
I
old
don't
are
know
you?
if I've ever. If you, I couldn't. I'm
But-
struggling to imagine the smell of semen.
But when you smell it in such a strong tree form,
It
you
hits
know.
you.
Yeah,
It's like
you're
all your repressed memories come. You remember every time you've jacked off. It comes flooding back.
I don't know. Just like I guess it is a hard smell to explain. I'm going back to the
Yeah,
internet.
and I bet
What
there's a lot of
does
variety in the
semen-
smell, like pee. Although I guess pee, you can always tell it's pee.
Healthy semen. So I'm assuming
It's not ours.
other people's.
Others.
It's a faintly musky, slightly salty, with a chlorine-like odor. Some people perceive
pool?
a slight sweetness due to the fructose it contains.
Chlorine? Is that what smells at pools?
Chlorine-like odor.
I like how it has a musk. Isn't that just another word for
it's just
smell?
Smell, yeah. Or
It's like Mr. Krabs, a type of smelly smell.
it's faintly musky. I think musky means like not smoky, but like
I think it smells like Elon.
it smells like
Elon
money,
tree, yeah.
right-wing politics.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the semen tree is a real thing. I definitely remember it, and it didn't smell good.
Do you think there's a, like a vagina counterpart, like a, a
Is this a dumb question? But what is lady nut called? It's just ejaculate? Like it's not semen, is
I
it?
guess
No, it's
no,
not.
it's not semen.
It's not.
That'd be
That's-
it's maybe the girls you've been dating, but it's not. It's just-
No.
She's
It's
like, yeah,
not
all
that
girls
dumb.
jizz.
Is it just jizz?
No, I don't know if they're
There's definitely a word
if
for
they
it.
squirt, it's a
Well, it's just pee.
it's urine. Yeah.
It's just pee.
Did we talk about this study they did in
think so.
Japan? Yeah.
And it's like,
Crazy.
yes, it is pee.
They're like, we need because they had to get a dude, and they're like, we need a fuck machine in here, someone that's gonna really, we need results. And it's a must. Imagine you sign up for the job and they have to fire you because you're like,
you're just not fucking up to standard.
These are not the results we need. This is serious research.
These women are pissing them their pants.
They're not enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, is semen some piss as well? No. I know I'm asking these questions and then immediately like answering them.
Yeah, like that'd be.
But I mean, sometimes after I've done the deed and you go to pee, either alone or with a friend, peeing feels pretty good because you feel like you're getting that last oomph out, you know?
Okay.
Clearing the pipes.
Sure. It's good to not get a UTI.
Yeah, for sure. But it's
heard.
like sometimes it feels like, you know, the final just that piss. Am I making any sense here?
I guess a little. I don't know.
You never had sex and then went to pee afterwards and it felt like almost as good as the nut?
No, I take a moment to caress the woman and tell her I love her.
Yes, this is after the caressing and the loving, of course.
I make it clear that I'm not just there to have sex and then pee.
I mean, I insist that both of us pee immediately.
You finish having sex with a girl and you're like, it's over for you, but it's just getting started for me. And then you go to the bathroom. Now we're talking.
The sex is just an excuse for
the foreplay.
Post-piece.
Sex is the foreplay for the main event.
Post-sex piss. Yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying. Maybe that's been my issue finding a steady relationship in New York.
Yeah.
No one wants to pee after sex anymore.
You're like, the sex was great, but her bathroom was not.
It's too far from the bedroom.
You're like, I lit some candles. They're all in the bathroom. You've got rose petals around the toilet seat. You're like,
she's like, "Ooh, shower sex?
So this is not for you. We're a bedroom. It's just a mattress on the floor."
I mean, obviously, piss fetishes exist, so this is not.
I don't think it's actually a urine fetish. I think it's a humiliation fetish.
I think it can go either way. Like someone's definitely got because like piss play is a whole world.
I guess.
I don't think it's strictly humiliation.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And some people like pissing on people. I would see that as more of a humiliation thing.
Yeah.
But like if you were drinking someone's piss or whatever.
It's a humiliation thing. It's like the naughtiest.
I'm sure there's some guy that's like straight up just into the piss though.
You know what I was thinking about? We talked about porn on a recent episode. Not
most of our episodes.
A lot of our episodes we brought it up. Well, you know, porn desensitizes you to stuff.
Sure.
Where you watch some and then you're like,
this.
yeah, obviously, and everyone knows this. Then you need nastier stuff to make it, and you're like, you know, she's only having sex with 10 dudes or whatever. Norm Macdonald has a good joke. He's like, why'd she get in the business if she was going to be such a prude? But I think maybe it's the reverse. Imagine you stop watching porn and you just get the reverse, like hypersensitivity. Like you haven't watched porn in a month and you're like, damn, Nancy Pelosi's kind of got it going on.
Well, Nancy Pelosi does have a great figure. And yeah, I feel like that definitely happens. Like someone who's like the bubble boy.
That's why ankles were so promiscuous back in the day.
Because
everyone was like, God damn.
Well, porn is way too accessible now,
of course.
For sure.
No, I know. But I'm just imagining the extreme opposite version where you're like,
just talk to like any old person. It's definitely what they were going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like shoulders definitely did the deed back then. I feel like our generation, you know, kids are going to be.
And like it does it for even us just when we're younger. When I was younger, I'd see a girl's shoulder and I'd be like,
oh, yeah. I mean, I still see a girl's shoulder.
Look
at
that.
It's hot in here. It's a whole shoulder? Nah, I feel like in New York.
That was the thing. Remember the bra strap?
Everyone's dressed like, especially in the summer, people wear no clothing in New York.
Well, girls wear lingerie. That's like normal.
I think that's in like LA too, I would imagine. It's
for
similar.
Sure.
It's so hot out there. But I feel like New York fashion is a little more like, don't give a shit out there. It's like everyone's famous.
Well, it's also summer all year long. So like normal outfit is like a lady's going to wear like booty shorts, and a bikini top.
Sure. Yeah, I guess the beach. No one wears. That's the thing. Like, there's no beach here, but people dress like they're going to the beach.
Yeah.
It's like Central Park, understandably, gets a lot of like bikinis and bathing suits, and there's no water anywhere.
No.
You're never,
well, there's some. None that you want to go.
Not swimming.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to wear waterproof
Also, that lake in Central Park where you can row the boats
Uh,
always looks so romantic in the photos and the movies, but then the water's nasty and it smells
Yeah.
like horse shit as you're walking
You
there.
probably got to wait like an hour to get a boat.
Yeah,
Cost money.
weeks in advance.
Bunch of other people splashing around. With
I know a
you.
bunch of people are always doing it wrong, like they're pushing the oars and rowing forward. You know what I mean? Instead of pulling and
All right, not everyone is.
oh, but come
Crew
on,
mentality.
everyone's seen a rowboat in action. Everyone they know how it works.
Wait, so what are people doing? They're pushing. To
Yeah,
like,
so they're like I want to go forwards where I'm facing, and so they push the oars like this, which
Silly.
works, but you go so slow because it's like it's your pecs versus your whole back.
Yeah, I'm sure the grandma and grandpa on their romantic park date are worried about what.
Well,
must-
they need it more because the wind will blow them away if they do. Dude, I had that happen to me when I was really young. I was like 10 or something. We went on a lake vacation, and I was like feeling adventurous, so I took the canoe out by myself with just a paddle, and I ended up getting pretty far out there, and like the wind is really blowing, so I start trying to go back, and I can't.
Was it like down? You were.
No, it was a lake. There's no current, but it was wind, all wind pushing. I was 10, so I didn't. There was not a lot of firepower in this canoe, and so I'm rowing and getting more and more like anxious and manic, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get back. And I see my parents, and I'm like waving to them, and they're like waving back,
hey, honey.
and I'm like, no, I'm stuck out here, and I'm getting further by the second.
You're getting smaller to them. They're like, oh, there's
Yeah,
a boy waving
I'm like
away."
running out of steam. So my older brother had to come and rescue me on a boogie board to help him row me back in.
Boogie.
Yeah, well, it was again. It wasn't the perilous situation it felt like at the time.
I want to say this was probably like your parents were probably like, oh, there's Eddie on that canoe 30 feet away.
I did. I got back and they were like, "You look like you were having fun out there." I'm like, "No." They're like, "You were rowing around," and I'm like, "I was trying to row straight back here."
Water and wind, currents, everything shockingly strong. Always like you don't realize it because especially when you're like going with the wind or with the current, you're like, damn, this fucking I'm flying. Like this shit's easy.
Yeah.
And you try to swim back and you're like, oh,
Oh, no.
actually, I'm
Terrible.
still going the direction I don't want to be going.
Yeah.
Just a little bit slower now. Like I remember when we would go to Wildwood, you would go and our parents would set up, post up on the beach. You'd play in the ocean. You'd look up and you'd be like a quarter mile away from your parents.
Yeah.
Not even realizing you're just drifting
The
away.
riptide is pulling you out,
Yeah.
or to the side rather. It is nuts. When I was a beach lifeguard, that was the whole job. It was like people would drift and you'd whistle and be like, "Stop drifting, come back." And like,
Is it really your responsibility to?
Well, it's at the Stone Harbor Beach Patrol. We practice preventative rather than reactive lifeguarding.
Sure, but like
That means we stop them early.
if they're moving left to right, not back out into the sea, is that really a concern as much as
It's the jetties. Like those pile of rocks.
Yeah,
People won't realize, and you'll be like, "Get
Okay.
rocks."
No,
Like, rocks are there.
I thought like you were in the middle of the
Oh,
beach
yeah.
and you're just like, hey, your family is
I'm-
over there.
like, "Hey, I'm lifeguarding you.
Yeah.
You get back here, please."
You take like lifeguard to a really literal meaning.
Mhm.
Like everything. Have you eaten breakfast this
Yeah,
morning?
right.
Did you brush your teeth?
Well, most of all of my saves, I had no real saves. All of them were like parents weren't watching and their kid fell over in a foot of water, and I had to go be like, like just stand him up.
Wow.
And he's like,
Was the kid gonna drown?
like yeah, like there's waves and stuff, and if they're struggling in a foot of water, they're getting pulled out
What's
by
the oldest kid you saved?
maybe like 5.
Okay.
Like I never was the water never reached my waist in these saves.
Is save even the right word or like
They might have died if I didn't
helping
lift
hand?
them. No, like it's enough to take out a child. You can't leave your 6-year-old in the ocean
Oh, now
unattended.
there's 6.
Well, you said oldest. I did a few of these.
You said 5 was the oldest.
Oh, whatever. I don't remember.
That story's getting a little fishy.
It's been
Were
a
you
few
even a
years.
lifeguard?
Fuck, I was lying. I let all those kids drown. I
It
have
would be
no
funny
idea how old they were.
To lie about being a lifeguard, but like being realistic. Like, yeah, no saves.
Yeah.
Pretty modest.
I barely did anything, honestly. It was a job in title only.
I mean, did you do anything other than like those mini saves? Was there any other?
Yeah, I whistled to stop moving over.
So I guess you.
I did
Who
that.
knows how many lives you prevented from
Yeah.
minor inconvenience?
Without me, the jetty is just splattered with blood and bones
It's a
from
war
the previous.
zone.
Although more likely it's like scrapes and
I was
bruises.
gonna say, like, I mean, I guess if it's a big enough wave to crash you in, but that's not.
Yeah, no, it's like maybe one day was it a sincere risk that you're getting smashed in there
And then
all
did
summer
you
long.
go in the ocean that day?
No, we didn't land people in the ocean that day.
Yes. What did you do that day? Just chill?
Yeah, you chill. You sit. You kick people. If it's really bad, so there's two conditions. Like if it's just the water that's bad, you have to stay on the stand and just tell people don't go in the water. But if it was like thunderstorm, you kick everyone off the beach, and then you go and sit in your car and just like you're now the bouncer for the beach. And you're like, no, you can't go out there.
Is it a private beach?
No, but the lifeguards are responsible for it until 5 p.m. So the moment 5 p.m. hits, doesn't matter the conditions, you can go. We're very
like if I deny your responsibility over me, I'm still not allowed on the beach. Like, can you call the cops and have me trespassed?
Well, like you can't, like you can't lay down in front of the train tracks and be like, no, it's cool. Like just go.
That
because like we're responsible. If you went out there and drowned, we would be in trouble, and we've deemed it unsafe. So we're like, I'm saying we. None of this is my decision. It's some other dude radios me. And he's like, kick him off the beach.
Dude, how much control does he have? And make him dance on the way. 10 push-ups from the bat guy on the left. I just confused it with it being public land where that you're not letting me swim. Like swim at your own risk.
But it's not at your own risk because we're lifeguards are there.
I know, but I thought lifeguards were only over like private beach.
But then also, if you're out there drowning, we have to go try and save you. And now like we're drowning too. It's a whole.
Well, that's the thing. If
we can't just be like, we can't be on the beach and be like, he said he had it. Like, oh, look at him go.
No, I get that in like normal conditions, sure. But if you determine it's not safe for lifeguard, like it's almost like saying it's 5 o'clock now. We're off duty. And you tell them that, and they're like, okay, I acknowledge that you're off duty. I don't want you to save me. And then they go out.
Look, I was just following orders.
Hey,
to whoever's vacation I ruined. I was just following orders. You should speak to.
It was me.
Dude, I think it's been so many years I'm kind of forgetting now, but I'm pretty sure the main dude's name was Sandy, which is like if you're named Sandy, you have to become a lifeguard.
I mean, that feels like a job that you would want to avoid.
But he was like 60 and he was head lifeguard.
Oh.
Like he ran all the lifeguards.
I guess he really, rolled into the whole Sandy thing. Like he's running with that.
That's what I mean.
Maybe it was like a job when he was
limited
18.
job options. You can't be a CEO named
Sandy. You could be like a cook.
Maybe a beach cook.
Yeah,
you run like a beach taco shop
or like a bartender at a beach bar.
It has to be beach related.
It's definitely yeah, of course. I'm just saying lifeguard.
Maybe desert related. No, Sandy doesn't even feel desert.
You could be a Captain Sandy. That'd be pretty sweet.
A what?
Captain Sandy, like a boat captain.
Oh, captain. Yes.
Captain.
You said captain, and I was like, what?
You could be a log cabin as well.
There's only one captain.
I feel like it would be a good golf caddy name. Like that guy. There's
Sandy.
Yeah. Like Sandy Jones.
But then everyone's gonna be like, "You're bad luck. I keep ending up in the sand trap."
But like,
get the hell out of here.
He's like the best sand raker ever. Like that's what part of their job is, breaking the bunkers.
Do sand related stuff.
Yeah, he's like really good at bunkering.
It's like if your name is Dick. I shudder to think what jobs you can do.
Strictly,
yeah. He works with the rare pear trees that smell like semen.
Yeah, that is probably one of like the more sought after dick jobs.
Yeah,
like
pear tree,
porn, fluffer, shit like that.
Yeah,
like, you want to get into that pear tree niche.
He's living large. The botanist Dick. What was it? The exotic pear? What was it? Something pear tree?
Ornamental pear.
Ornamental
tree?
pear
I don't
tree.
think that's right.
No, I think it was. I think that sounds right.
Ornamental pear tree.
Yeah.
Pyrus caluriana. Ornamental pears. Yeah, they do look familiar. Like you've seen that tree before.
Dude, I like how scientists give trees their own names.
That's like everything, though.
But anything, and like animals and trees, yeah.
You've seen that tree? Have you seen this tree?
Have you smelled this tree?
That's what like when it's in semen mode. When it's all like that.
Maybe I have. That looks familiar.
I'm telling you, dude.
But I've never been like overcome with the smell of semen. I don't know.
You've never been to the Arboretum. High semen season.
Get a good enough whiff.
Semen season. Yeah. It sounds like a hot boy summer.
Semen
season. Has that been said before? Because that's really good.
It might be new.
It might be the name of this episode.
Semen season.
Damn.
That would be good because every year it's something else.
Yeah.
Like it's hot girl summer.
It's semen season.
Semen season. You can add that to your Hinge profile.
Yeah. I'm
Be
sure
like,
that'll.
trying to hang out. It's semen season.
Out of context, I sound like a predator, also with a SoundCloud.
Parentheses, I'm referencing the ornamental pear tree.
Obviously, if you've listened to the Moose Lounge podcast, you get it.
Do you have podcasts on your Hinge profile? Moose Lounge podcast? Dude, you're missing out on some ladies. They know that podcasting is the broadcasting of the future.
Yeah, they're like, damn, this guy must make a shit ton of money.
They're like everything's great about this guy. There's just something missing.
I bet they're getting sponsorship emails out the ass from
Fish Audio.
Hey, don't speak ill of our potential business.
The incredible AI voiceover technology.
No free promos.
No, this one's for free. We're like heroin dealers. Once they see all the traction they get.
I was gonna say they're gonna see we lost 4,000. I mean, we couldn't do a negative. We don't have enough following to do good or bad.
We're harmless.
Yeah, we're harmless. That could be our pitch.
Yeah. We won't hurt your business.
Well, honestly, they'd probably want to give us like use our promo code and then we get 10%, it's a 20% discount.
Oh yeah, it's like we get
10% of the whatever. Which would be
Which, do you think a lot of our listeners are in need of AI voiceover technology? I bet they are. Everyone.
Raj
should use
with his
Raj,
music. He is like our only listener.
Our biggest
and he
listener.
does use it. That would be funny. Like first week we get a
Raj,
sale.
go to fishaudio.com and put in promo code moosin' around. It's a long promo code and hard to spell, but don't worry. And remember, it's IN apostrophe, not ING.
Why don't we just do Moose 10?
I liked moosing around. I think I'd really work for that.
Moose 10 around. We got to include the number of percentage discount. That's what they do. Like Moose 20 for 20% off.
I do like they'd have a really long promo code. Put in moosing around for 15% off because you used the promo code in the promo code box. Yeah.
Promo code 000464.
Yeah.
It's Moose Lounge.
Our promo code is a randomly generated Google password.
Scan this QR code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got our first sponsorship offer, which is probably not real.
It's more than likely fake.
But it passed the smell test in the sense that it wasn't a crazy email address.
The email address is the realest thing.
And they've showed up on Google.
They didn't use our names. They were just like, hi, comma.
They praised us for the narrative of our podcast. Because, the storytellers that we are, that is, I think, what's going to rake in all the people that want AI voiceovers.
It's like describing a smell as musky.
Yeah.
Your podcast was super narrative.
I really like how you talked on your podcast.
It was just so wordy and
the way you spoke.
Visual. The visuals were really visually pleasing. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting any. I was thinking about, like, I just looked at YouTube analytics, and one of the buttons was get paid or like earn more, and I was looking at the benchmarks we would need to hit. It's like 500 subscribers, but that's only to get like.
That's the real full monetization is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year.
Yeah. But
usually what happens? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if like ad deals typically would become before those. Probably not.
I don't think we need to worry about it. We're not in danger. We're not in danger of this happening.
No. I mean, it's not like this would be an issue, and I'm not worrying. I was more curious if you had 500 subscribers for 2 years, would an ad company reach out to you? Like these guys reached out to us for what?
I think they sent an automated email to every podcast on Spotify.
Sure, but like, why? If they're
because I think they're going to do the promo code thing to every podcast on Spotify, and they're like, "We'll give you a cut of people that use this promo code,"
and then we get no money otherwise, right?
If they would be dumb to give us money right now.
Agreed. We're really selling ourselves. I mean, it's not like they're watching. Clearly, this is the narrative that they are speaking of.
Oh, dude, I talked to this media video production company.
Wait, you have business meetings too?
This is for my dad's.
I'm hearing about
my
emails.
father's business. I was point person, whatever. But they offered us a deal where
you and your father.
Well, I'm like, now maybe I shouldn't talk about it. No, never mind. But it's like, I don't know, just on the off chance. They were very into the fact that I was a comedian, and now I'm like, fuck, I might actually go look and listen. They're a great company. I am actually excited to work with
There you
them.
go. Wait, they were offering.
They gave us a good deal as well.
Your dad. They were working with your
Yeah,
father.
they're gonna be a social media.
I see.
Social media team.
Okay.
Dude, he got 200,000 views on his last short. You seen it? Let me check. Check out Leonard Logsdon for bespoke suits or other tailor. Put in promo code moosing around but dressed well because I want the promo code in the promo code box.
Moosing down but dressed up.
Let me look. Yeah, moosing down but dressed up.
Yeah. Why aren't they sponsoring us? Your fucking dad.
Because the last people that will ever, the final fans that we have to earn are people that buy bespoke suits.
Maybe we have some like super rich fans that want to normalize themselves by listening to some dumb idiot guy.
All of our fans are rich in character because you have to be to listen to this.
Yeah, you need to have a very open mind. And
141,000 views on his reel, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty solid.
Yeah.
What was he doing in it?
Just talking about how the time he fucked up. It was a nice video.
The time he what?
They fucked up a suit.
Oh, you just said fuck.
Oh, no.
I was like, damn, no wonder he got so many.
It was nice. And he talked about how he fucked up and how he's had struggle coming up. And then they close it. And then he's like, they're like, so you were a tailor on Savile Row. And then you came to the United States. What caused you to do that? And he just goes, love.
Damn.
I fell in love with an American woman.
And then they cut it.
And it cuts there. And it is just like, fuck.
Cliffhanger? Like they're doing another episode?
Yeah, and the next episode, divorce.
So tell us about how your wife died. I think a comedian he's from the city. I've watched his entire 18-part Instagram story about his roommates from hell.
Yeah. I do. Shout out James Stanford. Tanford.
Stanford?
Well, his handle is James Tanford, but it's all, and I read it as James Stanford.
It's
James space Tanford. But when you look at it's
James Stanford.
It reads in your head. You're like, oh, it's James Stanford.
Shout out James. Fix your
yeah,
Instagram
man. He's blown up over it.
It was
great.
funny.
You liked it?
Well, it was like they weren't all funny. It was entertaining.
It was a good story.
I wanted to see what happened next.
Yeah,
the cliffhangers were always there, and he had good cliffhangers.
No, dude, he blew up for it.
He also did a good job reenacting all of the roommates.
Props to him.
The
for
wigs,
that.
Props were included. He had props.
Oh, okay.
Many props. Do you know him personally?
Yeah, we're pals.
Good guy.
Yeah, I like him.
You wouldn't say otherwise. Bro.
No, I would. I probably would because he's never gonna listen to this. But
I was telling.
No, actually, I do like him. He's cool.
My coworker, I was telling him about I had drinks last night, tonight, tomorrow, and I was like, oh, a lot of drinking. And they were like, oh, what are you drinking for? And I said, I'm filming something with my friend. I haven't told all of them about the podcast. And they were like, that I clearly worded it more sketchy than a podcast sounded because they were like, what the fuck are you filming? Would that required you to drink?
Yeah. Is it gonna smell like an Oriental peach tree in there afterwards?
It's gonna reek of Oriental peach in here. And so I was like, do a podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying how I constantly mention, no one listens. What happens when we do have listeners? Are we gonna change?
Yeah, we just don't say that anymore. I don't know. Like, what?
We don't talk shit anymore?
Oh, we still talk shit. We just don't say no one will hear this. At the end, we're like, lots of people.
They will hear this. Wow.
And they'll hear about this.
I think I might hold back a little bit knowing that I guess I'd have to fully commit to the podcast.
I like how you're already you're preemptively selling out. Like, it hasn't even happened yet. And you're like, just so you know, if this blows up, I am selling out.
Well,
I am going.
What if those are potential sponsors?
We're loyal to our hypothetical fans, not our hypothetical sponsors. We're hypothetically loyal to our hypothetical fans.
We would be hypothetically loyal to any hypothetical sponsor as well. We have to get the sponsors to make them think that we're hypothetically loyal to them. Or to hypothetically think that we are...
Well, now I'm lost a little bit. What?
Are you really lost or are you hypothetically
in this hypothetical scenario?
Is hypothetical just been overused, we think? Do you think the people that invented that word knew it was going to be such a common, hypothetically speaking, such a cop-out? hypothetically, would you not want to go out tonight?
Oh, it's just the like, yeah.
It's just like the go-to, like, well, hypothetically, I didn't, cheat on you, or if I did, because it's like a big fancy word,
and you can't. And if you like, say you actually really like that word, and you are just interested in hypothetical scenarios, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you implying?" Hypothetically, would you have sex with your mom or your dad? Which would you rather? And you're like, "What do you What are you doing?"
What does the word like really mean?
It means like, if this were to happen, what would you do? It means, yeah.
I guess I was, yeah. I know what it means.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just, you were way too deep in this conversation to be asking that now.
Yeah, I've used it.
You're like, by the way, what are we talking about? What have we been saying for the last 5 minutes?
No clue what that word means.
I'm lost, but I like this word we're using.
Indubitably. Do you know what that means, or is that just like another one of those?
I think it means without a doubt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. What else you got? Let's hear it. Give me another.
There was another one I liked that I know what they all mean. I'm more so curious about their origins, I guess is the better.
Oh, I don't know.
But there was one that I really liked.
You know, a word is used incorrectly all the time is theory. It's used wrong all the time.
Like, I have a theory about this?
Yes, they mean to say that they have a hypothesis about it. The theory means you have a hypothesis and it's backed up by evidence.
Well,
versus
who's to say?
Like, evolution is a theory, gravity is a theory, but people use it to be like, I think this might be the case.
Based off the evidence that they have.
But it hasn't been like...
Isn't a hypothesis more of a question?
A hypothesis is what you think might happen.
And then a theory would be...
A theory is you've confirmed it as much as you can.
No, that's a result or a conclusion.
No, it's a theory.
It
becomes a theory once... The other issue...
What's the conclusion?
A conclusion is like, your
results, right?
Yeah, those are your final results. So like, gravity becomes a theory once you've proven. You're like, hey, look, I made this formula to predict how a ball is going to travel when I throw it. And hey, look, I threw a bunch of balls and it works. All right. And then, and you have a bunch of other things associated with it. This is now a theory. It's no longer my hypothesis around gravity.
Okay. So like, my hypothesis would be...
My hypothesis would be
Dad is... Hold on, I'm totally changing the story.
Okay.
New example. I set the example.
You
go
for it.
Physics example. My hypothesis is that Dad... Or would my hypothesis be that Dad is cheating on Mom, or is Dad cheating on Mom would be the hypothesis?
Say that one more time.
I think my dad's cheating on my mom. That's my hypothesis.
Yeah.
And
then once you see... your dad.
And I think this...
Once you catch your dad in a bathhouse, it becomes a theory.
Well, I would only think it with evidence. Like, I wouldn't just think it otherwise.
Yeah, but you
so
can't...
That's why
but the evidence is insufficient for you to conclude that
well, that's why it's a theory based off... So I saw my dad leaving a bathhouse. Okay. So my theory is that he's cheating on Mom. No,
your hypothesis is that he's cheating on your mom.
But the evidence is that he's leaving the bathhouse.
But it's insufficient for you to conclude for sure that he's cheated until you see what he's doing in that bathhouse. Once you have like, but if you're like, but it becomes a theory if you like, every time your dad leaves the bathhouse, he smells like an ornamental peach tree.
Sure. So like, what's the difference between a theory and the conclusion, like the actual fact? Like, what, I have to see him having sex with another woman for that to no longer be a theory? Because then it's not a theory. I know he's cheating on my mom.
This is the issue, because the people use theory for hypothesis, and that's what you're saying right now.
So
it is now.
I need to know the answer correctly.
The theory of your dad's infidelity it would be like,
my parents have lived a very happy marriage. No one smells like
this is a hypothetical father.
This is a hypothetical father.
Yeah. So
but it just feels so. My theory is that Dad is cheating on Mom only once I know for sure.
I think you've poked a hole in this. Scientists are wrong.
I'm asking you, Mr. Science.
I'm not Mr. Science, but it's no. I think theory as the way it's used in science is a little more broad. A conclusion is something very specific. So to go back to the gravity example, because I feel like that's easier to talk about.
I don't think that's easier.
Like,
how is that easier? This is a real world example. People don't deal with
Yeah, but it's so
balls.
narrow. You know what I mean? Theories tend to be a little bit more broad and
But that's
encompassing.
you said the way people use it. People use it in like pretty narrow
They
situations.
use it to mean hypothesis.
Like I have a theory that
well, it's not even.
Jack's
It's like
back
even
with his ex.
quote unquote scientists use it wrong. Like in social scientists, they're like, and that's the reason people use it wrong is they're like, oh, I have this theory, and they mean hypothesis.
But I guess when I hear someone thinking that they have a theory, I imagine that they're not just saying it baselessly. Like
Yes, but they are also rarely do they mean. And I have conclusive. You don't see your dad having sex with another woman and be like, I have a theory that he's cheating on my mom.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
you
what I'm
say,
saying.
I know.
It would be like, I know.
But that's because people are using it wrong.
So what would in my example, what is the theory?
Okay, in your example, you have conclusive evidence your father is cheating. In your example,
I have pretty good evidence, but I haven't seen him. I saw
still
him.
a hypothesis.
It needs to be conclusive evidence.
Yeah.
And then what would be not a theory? What would be a known fact? Like I have concluded.
No, a theory is like the formulas for gravity are known facts. Like they work.
But don't they have to be proven?
They have been. We've thrown the balls. To an extent, we talked about this. This is too in the weeds now. Within a specific range, they've been proven. Yeah.
I'm not completely sold on this breakdown.
Okay, well, I think that's fine.
I think it is too.
I don't think that's going to have a negative impact
I have
at
a
all.
theory that you might be mistaken.
Maybe, but this is what a lot of evolution deniers use. This is like their tagline.
The theory of evolution.
They go, if evolution's so sure, why is it a theory? And then the evolution people go, you don't know what the word theory means.
Well, I think the theory of evolution is correct because we don't know for sure, but we're like pretty sure.
What do you mean?
Well, like evolution's not. There's potential for God.
Okay, that's not. It's not. They're not in contrast. What do you mean?
Why is it called the theory of evolution? Because we
have good evidence for it.
Good evidence, but not like fact. Like there's
We've
opposing
observed-
theories. There's opposing
We've observed
theories.
it. I was reading about the dogs in Chernobyl.
I'm team evolution for the record.
Okay,
My
all right,
buddy-
it was shaky there for a second.
Gavin is
You
a
started
big,
being like, wait a second, it does say theory in front of evolution.
I've had this argument with Gavin.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Gavtron. Definitely not listening. And he's hard to get a beat on like what his actual reasoning is. There's definitely like a religious aspect to it.
Yeah.
And like the last argument we got into was about how he thinks that people lived way long, like thousands of years old previous to.
Oh, dude, I've been watching YouTube videos about people in the Bible living old. I have a lot of thoughts about this too.
We're like, no, like what about?
Well, also, it's not that also is potentially not in contrast with evolution. You know, it could be the case.
He's anti-evolution. He believes evolution.
Okay, yeah, I know, but he seems.
There's a lot of things that he believes that we disagree on,
Yeah.
and we get into pretty passionate arguments. And he brought up that it's a theory, and my reasoning is that there are other theories, but this is the theory that is taught.
There are other hypotheses. Yeah, I promise you, everyone uses you're not wrong because everyone uses it the way you're using it. But in terms of
There's
science,
no other theories.
in terms of what?
There's no other theories in opposition to evolution.
There are other hypotheses.
I'm asking that, like you're confident there are no other theories.
Yes, right now there are hypotheses. There are tweaks to the existing theory. They're like maybe if we were being specific, it's
Theory
a little bit more like this.
2.0 evolution.
Yeah, and yeah,
version 3.47 update kind of thing.
dude, I'll talk to my mother about evolution
Oh God.
every once in a while.
I
Like
must-
on like I would say
I'm
once,
imagining they're anti-evolution.
I would say once a year I talk to my mom about this. And yes, always at the start of the conversation she's anti. But my mother's smart. And by the end, sincerely, she's like kind of convinced. But then she just forgets. And then we do it again the next year. And I think it's a little
You
bit
think her local priest shows up and just like you forget what he said to you,
something like that.
Men
But
in Black.
it is just like because like my mom is smart and so she gets to it, but then she just like doesn't care and she's like, no, we're going fuck that, which is like fine. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it. It's like flat Earth. Go for it. I don't care.
Flat Earth's a little more ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's not like the earth is flat. Now murder's okay. You know what I mean?
Anarchy!
Anarchy,
We live on a flat.
yeah.
Everything's a lie.
The shape of the earth was the only thing holding me in check.
Yeah,
before
that was
I
my
went,
moral leveler right there.
before I went berserk.
Now that I know it's all flat, what's the point?
There are very few things where it's like, no, you got to believe this. You know, you got to be like,
Of course, there's like
Yeah.
pretty much.
like,
Well,
like jail is bad. You will not like jail. You got to convince people of that, 'cause otherwise they'll just go wild.
I feel like jail speaks for itself because people get out of jail. If no one ever got out of jail, it probably wouldn't be as scary.
Well, you ever see like the Swedish jails, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's an apartment building, you got TVs and stuff,
But
and
those have to, like, if you're a big time criminal, I don't think you're going to one of those nice Swedish jails. The difference is like
well,
all
their
of
whole
our
thing is
criminals
like
get
we're
thrown in.
rehabbing you.
Yeah.
We're like he's he's a pedophile that
Oh.
murdered 12 people, but that's in the past.
He can change. No, I think
With a nice enough studio apartment, he's gonna turn this around.
he's gonna make so many nice
Yeah.
kitten sweaters with his
Yeah,
knitting
it's just-
hobby, and
The issue was that his apartment wasn't nice enough.
he didn't have enough things occupying his hands.
Yeah.
I think the murdering pedophiles get sent to a more high intense situation.
You think like, let's say you're in jail for one crime, but you're like the trial for your second crime is ongoing, and they reach a conclusion that you're guilty, and the guards come in and they're like, "Get this pillow," they like make your cell shittier.
Yeah, you've been downgraded from upper tier criminal to low tier criminal.
I hope you were enjoying Last of Us, because no more HBO. You're gonna have to settle for Netflix.
Basic cable.
Basic cable.
I mean, there's definitely tiers to prison. Like, solitary confinement must suck.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like it's better than getting, like, sexually assaulted in jail by everyone else. If you're in,
Sure.
like, if they put you in a prison full of rapists.
You know what it's way worse than? Sexually assaulting a lot of other people in jail. Like, depending on which end of that interaction you're on.
Wait, what? What's...
Like, if you're the man that's been locked up for many years and who seems to enjoy taking advantage of the smaller inmates.
Sure.
And
So
he's
they take-
bummed to go in solitary confinement, whereas his victims, that's who I'm siding with, I have sympathy for them, just to be clear, they're like, thank God, some relief, you know?
Well, hopefully they have the people that can't be with the mass public in the solitary confinement, so that would make the mass public less bad. Like, if they have a jail and the situation is like there's 100 prisoners, 10 of them are crazy, and you have 10 solitary confinement chambers, you put those 10 guys in there, the 90 are chilling. Whereas if you get your
Oh, dude, but you put,
of those 90, you get like the 10 best, put them in the 10. Sure, they're not with the other, but like the mix up. So it seems like putting the worst people in solitary confinement away. But you're right.
So you put the 10 worst prison rapers in
like the nicest
in a
setup.
cell
Yeah.
together, and then only the most powerful rapists emerge. It's like you're
No,
just-
they come out as like
You ever heard that
I'm thinking of like the Rat King
to
thing.
get like the nastiest insect? Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But they do it with bugs sometimes
Well,
too.
no, Rat King's a different setup. That's where
where it's like they just keep putting rats. Oh, the
the
tails.
tails link up and they create like a super rat. In short.
Well, no, it's like they get tangled and they die pretty fast.
Sure, but like it's like a ball of super rat.
Yeah, I imagine if you come across one, it is terrifying at the time. But
Exactly.
but then you're like, oh wait, they're stuck.
Sure, but like let's say they drop 10 rats on you, fine. But if they drop 100 rats in a super rat ball on you, I think you're getting fucked. Like if you're in a cage, would you rather fight 10 rats not tied together or 100 rats in a ball?
100 rats in a ball.
What?
Because I can just step a foot away from them. Rats aren't that big, and then they can't get to me. It's
Rats
not
are-
like these rats are not coordinating and
I
be like,
imagine.
all 100, line up, let's charge the.
I think they're pretty. And
No, dude, I promise. They get their tails tangled and they die. It's not a good. It's like Siamese twins. You know what I mean? It's like, would you rather fight two guys or one Siamese twin?
when I type in Rat King, The Last of Us pops up. Oh, geez.
What?
I don't know if this feels like a spoiler, but it's this like terrifying fucking.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I guess that's different. It's like it is a rat. Oh, maybe we'll see him in a couple episodes. You been watching The Last of Us?
No.
It's good.
Did the main guy actually die in episode 2?
Yeah.
So what? Who's the main guy now? It's just the girl.
Well, he'll be back in flashbacks, but I mean, this is the game. Like it's going pretty according to script.
But I mean, who's it? It's
Now it's
focused
gonna
on
follow Ellie. I mean, it's
Ellie.
always been about the girl. She's like pretty much the whole gist of it.
I see.
He was a bounty hunter that was supposed to bring her from one place to another. Got her there, realized they were gonna kill her, but he fell.
No, yeah, I saw the first
okay,
season.
yeah, so
Yeah, okay.
But like, she's the whole point.
Because she has the cure. She's like immune.
She is the cure, yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I mean, they're gonna in the game they made like the second part, which is what we're on now, as a multiplayer where you played as like both girls. So it's really you're playing as her the whole time. In the first game, you do play as Joel and the girl, but now it's like a co-op where you're the two girls. So he does die, and like the whole point of the game is you're going to avenge him.
I see.
So I was
okay. All right.
I was pretty
Cool.
prepared for this.
So it's not really spoiler. It's like, I guess if you didn't play the game but you watched the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, 3 weeks ago.
I'm imagining Ellie giving blood. I had someone who's a nurse tell me recently. They're like, giving blood is good for you. And I was
How?
like, what? They're like, you actually have too much blood in your body right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
just a little bit less, and you would be feeling great.
I mean, I could see taking a little bit of blood. Like, it might feel good. Like, you might feel lighter.
You are lighter. That is true. If you're like this close, dude, a UFC fighter, it's like he's like a half a pound overweight.
I mean, they do crazier shit than probably drip blood. I've seen my cousin was like starving himself for 3 days, kind of thing. It's terrible.
No, I know it is, but it is funny to be like, I'm gonna go donate blood. Where's is there a Red Cross truck around here?
I always think it's funny when they have like crazy ass hair. It's like, cut your hair. That's got to be worth
it seems obvious.
a
Cut your
pound
hair
or two.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, we did a blood drive, and the nurses were like, "Go get drunk afterwards. It'll be way quicker." Blah blah blah. And we're like, we are in high school. we were not taking notes, but like, it seemed like a very irresponsible thing for a nurse to say.
Yeah.
Have a couple beers after class. I wonder if smoking weed you'd feel it more with less blood. Because alcohol makes sense, but I don't know. But they didn't tell us to do that.
Yeah, you must, right? Because right, the way weed works is THC gets in your bloodstream and travels to your brain. And
so
if you're
less high, because you have less blood.
No, if you have less blood, it's a higher concentration of THC going to your brain.
Damn, so we could have been getting crossfaded.
You could have been so crossfaded.
Dude, maybe giving blood is good for you.
Imagine you're
get
like
the sickest buzz.
That's how you save money. You're like, I can only afford one beer tonight. Drain me twice.
Honestly, I guess it's called blood donation for a reason, but do they ever pay you for your blood? Like, if you give enough of it?
I don't think so.
How bad do you need this blood?
I think we would know we would have heard if you're like, hey, $10 for your blood
for a cheap high.
Yeah, because then people are gonna be lying. They're like, no, this isn't my 7th time in line. They're like,
I guess
sure, I look like a squeezed juice box, but that's just how I look regularly.
I always look like this.
Yeah, this is my. Oh, you mean I'm trim? Thank you.
Sure, you're shaking. Stop. I'm just nervous.
You smell some beer. You're hammered.
I told you when my mom.
Give me another.
Yeah. Oh, can I?
Yeah, but it was just funny to be like, you'd be healthier with less blood, and I'm like, I don't know if that's. What? What do we got in there? Oh, you're doing the. Oh, so fancy. Oh, thank you. What vintage is this? What year?
2025. Great year for PBR.
Oh, you got that one. For our audio-only listeners, Brian's trying to use tongs to pull a beer out of an ice bucket.
Oh, God damn.
It's
so easy once it's out.
Because it has to be just... It's not that easy, dude. What are those? I think those tongs are for picking up the ice and putting them in your drink.
That is why we don't use that thing very often.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Same.
Oh, dude, I watched this clip of
Do we have any audio only listeners? We
not, since we stopped posting to Spotify. But
Yeah.
I watched this clip of a podcast of Legion of Skanks, which I like them. I think it's a fun podcast. But they had this comic on, and the comic, I don't think it's a bit, but he goes at the beginning. They're talking about dick sizes, and the guy goes, "Yeah, I've got a good sized dick, 3 to 4 inches," and everyone's just like, "Wait, what?" Like 3 to 4. He's like, it's good. It's decent. It's fine. Everyone's like, no, that's a really small dick. And then he starts backtracking. He's like, oh man, I have the measurements wrong. All this stuff.
Oh, I was in meters.
And then at the end, they get him to phone his girlfriend and just be like, hey, be totally honest. How large? She goes 4 inches. And so it's like,
at least she didn't say 3 to 4.
Yeah, it's just shit. 'Cause 3 to 4 usually means 3.
3, yeah.
So thank God you took the high end estimate. But it is just wild to be older than 15 and be like 3 to 4 inches. That's everyone's penis. Because you must have heard yeah, he's got a 9-inch. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
People are always
you do hear 9-inch and you're just like, that's not...
Obviously that's ridiculous. But then you're like
8 inches is like less. It gets a little less ridiculous.
There's so much distance between 3 and 9.
Yeah.
So that just blew my mind when it was, if I had a penis that size, and I don't, I would be fighting so hard. I would know appropriate penis sizes and be like, I have 5.2. It's 0.1 above the average. Why are you asking?
Well, would you lie?
Yes. On a popular show, yes, I would lie.
So you're not lying now. Clearly, we're not.
Stop asking. No, I'm not lying.
Dude, this isn't a popular show.
Now that I think about it, 4 is kind of big.
I was gonna say 4 is like you can work with 4. Like I wouldn't call it big, but what's the male average? Like
it's 5.1.
5.1.
But that is that's a worldwide average,
including the balls.
No, I was gonna say it's including
that includes my belly button.
That's including all of Asia, famous for their small penises.
But then doesn't it also include all of wherever the largest penis size?
That's true. Maybe it evens tribe. Out. I would say way more Asians than Africans. So it's not
definitely.
What's
the average American penis size?
I don't know. Let's find out.
White.
It's 4. It's 4. It's 3.
14.5 centimeters.
Oh God, I was like, 14.5 inches. I'm like, oh God, I'm just like that guy. I've got the same.
5.7? No way.
Damn.
It says the average size of an American white male penis when erect, when watching Sydney Sweeney, is 5.3 inches. Studies have shown that the average flaccid length is slightly smaller, around 5.2. What?
That's way too close.
And I guess some people are showers. I'm personally a grower. I feel like most people are growers, right?
I thought that was the default. Imagine your dick doesn't get bigger with an erection. It just points upwards.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate this image. It's like
we're talking about so many images. It's a dude holding a ruler.
Holding his boxers and a ruler.
As he opens his boxers, he's holding a ruler.
I've just been on this website so many times.
Yeah.
So what is the average penis size? Study of over 15,000 men found an average flaccid length of 3.6, a circumference of 3.7. When erect, the penises have an average length of 5.1 and an average circumference of 4.5. Okay, so that sounds like
5.1, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Also, if you know the circumference of your penis, it's because you have a small penis and you're trying to find...
Or you have a huge penis and you're like...
Or chode, right? Isn't chode when it's wide but not long?
But like you could have a huge and girthy penis and be like, what are my stats?
Bodybuilders do their circumference of their biceps?
I feel like my penis is supposed to be as long as it is circumference.
Yeah, well, it's like traveling around the outside, yeah.
I know what a circumference is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if mine is. Now, I mean, I would need like one of those...
Did it say same length? It was a little shorter circumference,
right? Slightly shorter.
Yeah.
Bro, do I have a skinny dick?
You might, man. I don't know. It's that.
I mean, I feel like long and skinny is not the worst combo. Not to say
It's not a great combo. It's not.
Well, that's like the typical white man dick.
Would you rather go long and skinny or short and thick?
Probably long and skinny.
But I've heard, allegedly, that it's the girth that
Sure.
matters. That's how. So, if you're long and skinny,
I guess I'm probably underestimating. I need to stop.
you're like, what's the regular? You know?
Dude, I remember when I was young, like first learning to make that sweet peach oriental smell.
The Oriental peach tree. When you were adding an Oriental peach tree aroma to the house,
to the bathroom, to the shower as a young lad. I remembered Googling, like this was like before I hit puberty, I would imagine. Yeah, right. You definitely peach tree before you hit puberty.
Well, I think it happens at the same time.
Around
you can't before any puberty happens.
Yeah. I remember being like, I'm not large enough down there to do this, and Googling it, and Google was like, you can make peach trees at any size. They were like, don't worry. Like,
it's a size thing. Sorry, bro. Tiny dick, you don't get to come.
You can't jerk off.
Sorry, dude.
But I mean, like, when you think of jerking off, you're like, ooh. And I was like, I don't need this.
This has been our raunchiest pod so far.
Hey.
It's the Oriental peach tree because it's so funny to just use that as a reference for semen. That is
Semen season, baby.
such a fun fact.
Hey,
I'm
so glad you didn't remember it.
It sounds vaguely like
I mean, I've known about these disgusting trees.
Yeah, these
for a while.
Vile trees.
Slutty little trees. We're at 55 minutes.
Wow, it flew by.
That's what happens when you're getting raunchy.
Yeah, or we need another fragrant tree for our next episode to bring it full circle.
I actually noticed we had a dislike on our last episode.
Oh yeah?
Who the hell do you think you are?
Was it the audio? Do you think they were like pissed off? I come to the Moose Lounge for its
for good
quality audio.
Well, it's just like, it's one thing to not like. I mean, it's so normal to not like the video because you haven't even watched it. Totally fine. But to go out of your way to dislike, like, do you think that's the other Moose Lounge?
It must be. They dislike everyone. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Let's see if I go to manage videos. Yeah, our last one is one like versus one dislike. We're at 50%.
All right, we're even. Well, dude, it's fair. The audio sucked in the last one. Let's get the jokes.
The previous couple were better, 100%.
They were way better
with our 3 likes.
Infinite. They were our best episodes so far.
Yeah,
let's
get
with
to
the
jokes.
analytics.
Hey, I mean, they want to know. They want to know how we're doing.
I don't think.
I think that they
We can't. But we're showing our hands to Fish Audio. They don't know how our.
We spent the first half of this episode talking about how we would never take them over the fans. Fish Audio is fully aware of what they're getting themselves into.
Take, I guess, 3. Okay. You go first.
Here's my impression of James Bond ordering a drink during an earthquake. I'll have a martini.
Because it usually gets them shaken.
I got the joke.
Okay.
I think everyone got the joke.
I hope so. Well, you read it with such like, this is a dumb joke.
No,
You gotta be like, here's my impression of James Bond ordering a drink during an earthquake. I'll have a martini. You see how there's a little more oomph under that? I don't know.
No,
Maybe
don't.
not.
Run the tape back.
I won't be trapping any more children in my basement because 13 is an unlucky number.
13. The age of these children? Or
No,
the
it's
number?
I bet number. Like I've got 12 in there now. I don't want to get bad luck.
Yeah, you don't
If
want to
karma's
be
a thing. 13 children.
too many. This year, in an attempt to reduce his carbon footprint, Santa will be giving naughty children solar panels. It's actually very practical from the man, from the old guy. You missed it. You were reincarnating your James Bond impression, and I ripped the camera with
Nice,
the paper.
dude.
Ripped it. No.
Okay. What I'm gonna do. Every night that I would stay with my grandpa as a kid, he would tell me to hit the sack when it was time for bed. I was lucky to have a role model like him to introduce me to ball play at such a young age.
Lucky you.
It's not just regular ball play. It's like dominatrix style.
Intense ball play. That is very fortunate at such a young age.
It's getting late. It's time to hit my sack. The sack. The sack.
Yeah, he never specified which sack.
Yeah, any sack.
Just one of those old idioms, you know? The terms bohemian and pretentious fuck can be used interchangeably.
I heard someone call themselves a bohemian. And I'm like, you son of a
sound
bitch.
Like
say you're an actor or an artist, whatever. I'm a bohemian.
Oh my God, I just ripped that camera
Did you get
again. It moved the phone.
Dude, you have to edit in the phone audio just for that 1 second so you get
the crash.
Last week, I had sex so good the other person couldn't walk before or after. I also got fired from the VA hospital.
It's like, what? Where is the? I heard last week I had sex so good. I was like, this is our raunchiest.
This is our raunchiest episode.
Hey, baby, to Semen season.
Semen season. We've had some smooth rhymes.
Some good times
here at the Moose Lounge.
Thanks for listening. Wow, right at an hour. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Goodbye.